Castor oil also, like if you ingest it, it's like a detox. So like, be careful. It says that you may like want to take the next day or so off and like not leave your house. It's like that kind of detox, you know. It says like you may like if you take it before bed, wake up like 1 to several times in the night. So it's like no joke. But anyway, those kinds of things you'll find out about at the workshop. And this will be at the front desk if anybody wants to read more about what's going on there. We have lots of other workshops coming up on the schedule. Please check them out. The breathing workshop with Megan is coming up as well. And I believe Teresa Novak, if it's not on there already, it's coming up. But she'll have like a series of workshops. One that's like the 7-wheel medicine. So that's going to be more like a chakra workshop, learning a lot about them. And then another one on like the mantras and the deities of the yoga practice. So if you have interest in those kinds of things, the philosophy, the subtle energies, the like stories behind, they're great workshops to get into. If you're more interested in like the restorative, slow, kind of like experiential stuff, we have lots of that stuff coming up. But we've been trying to get a mix of things to offer to see like what you guys are interested in. So if there are things that you're like, man, I would love to learn more about or to have opportunities in, let us know so that we can like work on putting those things together. So for today, I'm gonna have everybody come to stand somewhere near the top of the mat. And we'll find the alignment for today, how the body is feeling. Check in. Begin to center in, taking an inventory of how you're feeling today. The quality of the body. Taking a moment to notice the quality of the mind. And then considering something that you would like to take from this practice today. That can be something physical, like more flexibility or strength. But it also may be quality of mind that you want to bring into your life to accentuate in this time in your life. So that life is a little easier. And that can be something like forgiveness to yourself or someone else. Compassion, understanding. Whatever it is that you choose, you can repeat that to yourself a few times to lock it in. And then to consider someone else in your life. Could be somebody that you love very much, or someone who's very difficult for you to love right now. That they might have what they need. That they might rest well and be well. Even if there's nothing we can do but offer them this time. And then fluttering your eyes open, they were closed on an inhale. Take both arms, reach them up towards the sky. And begin to make a few gentle circles in your wrists. Reverse the circle, go in the opposite direction. And then interlacing those fingers, turn your palms up towards the sky. Stretch up to the sky. Reach, 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 reach. Good, pull those ribs in a little. Tuck the tailbone under a little. Exhale, side bend to the right. On an inhale, use those side abs, bring you back up to the center. Exhale over to the left, keeping those ribs in. So we're not rotating, we're just side bending. Good, on an inhale, come back up to the center. Releasing the hands, exhale, forward fold, hands down towards the earth. You can let your knees bend so that your hip bones can touch your thigh bones there in the front. They tip forward, sit bones towards the sky. And then looking down at those feet, can you make the toes kind of like face forward, maybe the heel? Have to go out a little bit. With those knees bent, we notice if one of the knees is like rolling in, kind of like looking for the other knee. We'll try to draw that out so it stays right over that maybe toe side. And that can change the feeling of the stretch in the backs of the legs. We're just playing here a little. Bring those fingers, interlace them now behind your head. So they're like at the base of the head where it meets your neck. And then bring your chin in. We're going to just give a little traction on the back of the neck. So the idea here is not that you're trying to pull your head off, but instead you're trying to see how heavy you can make that shoulder girdle so that those elbows come towards each other. And that the weight of the shoulders just drags you down. And then from that place you can rock a little side to side. You can rock a little forward and back. And then release the hands down onto the floor. Good. Grounding those palms down, step back to a plank position. And then from plank position, we're going to move those shoulder blades together. You can lower your knees down from modified plank if you like. Shoulder blades together. And then shoulder blades apart. So your shoulder blades move apart. Good. Now I want you to notice if you're doing your low back or your middle back, and see if you can isolate that space, shoulder blades together. And then shoulder blades apart. Good. 3 more, shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart. One more time, shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart and hold it up there for 10. Keep breathing. 9. 8. Keep lifting in that space. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Yeah. 2. And 1. Lower your knees down. Puppy pose. Butt stays up. Arms walk forward, chest goes down. So in puppy pose, it's like the pre to a down dog. Right? But it's super intense. Like, woo! Puppy before full grown dog. But the puppy is very flexible. Those babies are flexible. So as your butt stays up over the knees, and your arms reach out nice and long, you actually reach the arms. Like, they're not just hanging out there, you're reaching through them. See if you can get those palms to turn towards each other or up towards the sky. So your arm bones are rolling all the way up at your shoulder. And then you reach through your hands like you're trying to reach like a marble that got underneath the couch. You're like, almost got it. And as you reach really strong through those arms, you'll press your chest down towards the floor. And if you can get your sternum, that's the bone at the center of your chest, down onto the floor, then you can lift your head. Otherwise, just hang out in that reach. Actively reaching. Reach, 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 reach. Palms turn towards each other or up towards the sky. You get those elbows to roll in towards each other. That's it. Chest goes down towards the floor, butt stays up in the air. Good. And now, whether you move forward out of this or backwards out of this, you're going to come out of that position because it's an intense one. Good. And then in your own time, transitioning to a downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, I'd like you to find those same elements. Can you keep reaching your butt up towards the sky? Can you keep trying to reach through your arms? You're pressing them into the floor. Because you can't reach through the floor. So as you push down, you keep lifting up and back. The spine gets super long. And then you make your elbows try to turn towards each other with your hands on the floor. Then push the ground away actively. And push your chest back through your legs. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, walk, or float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Take your arms up overhead. Find a back bend at the top of the movement. Exhale and forward fold. Take the hands back down to you. Chin in. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, arch the back. Exhale, palms down, step back to that plank position, this time pressing forward off the toes. Lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Again, the knees can lower. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And instead of thinking about what it should be, what it could be, what it used to be, you spend your time right now in this moment. On an inhale, look forward. As you exhale, hop, step, jump on your foot. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, and forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Keep those arms up, overhead, and then back, bend to the top of the knee. Exhale, forward fold, hands right down here. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, palms down, step, jump, walk, or float it back. Chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall forward. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Notice I'm walking those feet in about 6 inches. Good. We're trying to turn the eyes to the elbow, your elbow pits towards the front of the room, but keep your hands planted. Bending in those elbows so they go down towards the floor, not out to the sides. And then straighten them out. Good. Again, and then bending the elbows as deeply as you like. And then straighten them out. 2 more, bend the elbows, squeeze them in. Good. Straighten it out. Last time, bend those elbows, hover. Keep squeezing them in towards each other. Pressing those palms down for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the elbows down. Forearms are on the floor. So we're doing our best to keep those elbows hugging in towards each other. And the palms separate. That's like external rotation in your humerus, that arm bone up where it meets your shoulder. It's a hard thing to hold. I know. Good. Now, can you walk the feet in a little closer and keep pushing your chest through to your legs? And you gotta push the ground away a lot with those arms. We don't want our head to touch the floor. Push the ground away. Don't let the head touch. Push, push, push. Now, if you want, one leg can go up towards the sky, and that makes it way heavier. So if you're at your edge, know that you're at your edge. You can bring that leg down, switch to the other side. Good, then both legs down, knees down, sit back towards your heels, child's pose. Let's take the knees together, hands wrap back towards the heels. Even if it's not your favorite, just give it a whirl today. As you sit back towards those heels, the arms resting back towards the toes, the heels, or you can reach back there for it. Maybe your chin comes in and your top of your head is up on the floor. You know, how rolled up you can get. One more breath here. Then on an inhale, press and back up, hands down, tabletop position. Good. From your tabletop position, on an inhale, look forward, let the belly drop down, arch your back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest, push the ground away. 2 more like that. Inhale, look up, belly drops down, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Last one together. Inhale, look forward, belly drops down. Exhale and round, chin to the chest. 5 breaths down, moving at your own breath rhythm, your pace at any movement you like. Exhale. Good. You can move like a figure 8. Or a jump rope. 3 more breaths. Moving around. Touching all the places. That might have been this. 2 more breaths. Finding those edges. Moving maybe differently than you have before. Last one.
Exercise ring closed.
What? Round those palms down, tuck the toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg lifts up in the air, like a down dog. Bend the knee and open in the head. That feels so nice. Step that right foot through between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. So, in warrior 1, I want you to turn the back toes to face the front left corner of the mat. Even if it's like not how you like to do it, just like try it. And then I want you to imagine in your mind that your like mind's eyes and those toes turning forward. And notice if your knee is also turning forward. And then notice if that left thigh bone is also rolling in or forward. Because we need to be in agreement about what direction we want the body to face. So there is no such thing as a knee. We can't take it out. Let me cut the knee out. The knee is where two things come together. It's a place of joining. And if the two things don't agree on the direction that we're going, that joining is not going to work out very well. So we can keep pressing and pushing into different directions, trying to force that torsion into the knee. But here instead, we have this great opportunity to decide, like, let's all turn to face towards the front. Toe, knee, hip. And then from that place, with the left thigh rolling in and that right thigh rolling out, both arms up towards the sky, we find like stability. Now, can you press the right heel down into the floor? And imagine like you're dragging it back towards the other leg. You turn on those muscles under your right thigh. Those are your hamstring muscles. Make them really strong. Good, now can you get those elbows to turn towards each other as the arms lift up? So that we have space in the neck and the arms reach, and they lengthen from the sides of the body. So even if my shoulders lift all the way up towards my ears, I still have space for my neck because my neck muscles didn't pull those shoulder blades up. Take one more nice strong breath. You're bent deep in that knee. Press it down and drag it back again. Good, take your hands down to the floor. And step back to a plank position. Good, slow lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, mean it, all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Pull those shoulder blades together and down the back. Use the middle and low back muscles. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good, and now the left leg lifts up in the air. Three-legged down dog. Bend the knees, stack the hips, and make it feel nice. Good, and then stepping that left foot through between the hands. Inhale, rising up, warrior one. So, back foot. Sometimes it's hard to turn the foot forward, that back foot forward, because if we do, we have to have a lot of dorsal flexion in that back foot. It's tough. But if my toes turn out, and then my hip tries to roll in, that twist happens at my knee. So the more I can turn my foot forward, the more I can turn my hips forward. And they don't have to square off, but we're working in this direction. And we're in a place that we agree about where we're going. If you're ever in a partnership, whether you're caring for a parent with someone, whether you're caring for children, whether you're working on a project at home or at work, everybody's got to agree on the direction or things are not going to move. So bend a little deeper into that left knee if you can. If those back toes can't face the front, then that hip is not going to face the front. It doesn't matter how far you turn forward, just that your body agrees. Good, can you find that feeling of that right thigh rolling in? And as it rolls in, and we find that deeper bend into the left knee, I want to make sure that we're not doing this in the spine. Good, you press the left heel down and drag it back, turning on those hamstrings. Fire at the underside of the leg. Roll the elbows in towards each other a little more and draw them back, keeping that external rotation. And lifting from the sides of the body. Lift. Two more breaths. Good, take those hands down on the floor. Ground the palms. Step back, plank position. Slow lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall forward. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump over, float, out. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep both arms to the sky with Vinyasa, sitting back in your chair. That's not there. Good. Can you feel the hips? And see if you can even them out so that you're pressing back evenly between the left hip and the right arm. Put your hands on your hips for a second. Feel if one feels higher and one higher. Even lift it up. Yes. Just like that. Perfect. Good. Breathe in there. Feel that space between the knees even. You stay tracking over the toes. Spread the toes really wide. Both arms to the sky. You try to roll those arm bones in. Pull them up and back. Up and back, up and back. Exhale, forward and straighten. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground the palms down, set up walker, float it back, chaturanga, Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. That means knees down or knees lifted. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg lifts up in the air. Three-legged dog. Bring that right foot through between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Right arm forward, left arm back. So now the left toes face the long edge of the mat. And the knee faces the long edge of the mat. And the head opens up to the long edge of the mat. And as you bend nice and deep into that right knee, we pull the right knee towards the right knee to the side. And as you do that, sometimes it makes your back arch a lot. So we're going to hug that low belly in a little bit. Try to lift the pubic bone towards the ribs a little bit. Engaging in your core, nice and strong. Press that right heel down into the earth and drag it back towards the left leg. Are you using your neck to hold your shoulders up? If you are, relax those neck muscles. Turn the right palm towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, lean back, reverse the warrior. Are you still bending deeply in the right knee? Pulling it towards the right side. Dragging that right heel towards the left leg. It doesn't go anywhere. You're just turning those muscles on. Inhale, rise back up to center warrior two. And then exhale, right hand down, left arm up, side angle pose. And now you reach through that left arm, first up towards the sky. And then maybe overhead in the diagonal. If it feels like you get jammed up there, your shoulder blade is not moving. Move your shoulder blade around. Some people sweep their arm down and up to get that shoulder blade moving. Hopefully those serratus push-ups in the beginning got those shoulders going. Bend deeper into that right leg. Press the right heel down and drag it towards the other side. Activating your hamstring. Good. Inhale, rise back up to center, warrior two, straight into the front leg. Good. Rebend it. Right palm turns up, lean back, reverse the warrior. Bring your right hand to your right ear. Touch it. And then lift your elbow up towards the sky. And I want when your elbow lifts up to your ribs to lift up. They're not just going to the back of the room. You can do that without arching. You can just tip back. I want you to try to create a curve in your spine. And still draw the ribs in a little. So it's not a back bend, it's a side bend. Good, inhale back up to the center. Warrior two. Good, straighten both legs. Good, shorten that stance a little bit. Find some movement in the hips. Your hips can move. From that movement in the hips, reach the right arm forward, send the hips back to the back of the room. Long, long, long body. Good, and then the left hand comes down, the right arm comes down. Now, if you find those inner thigh muscles again, that idea of like pulling the legs almost towards each other, that you're so strong in the legs and in your core that maybe that hand doesn't need to rest on something. Could it even maybe reach forward to the front? You're holding yourself out here in space. This is not a I rest in my joints and hang out thing. This is a super active pressing and reaching. Good, returning all the way back up to stand. Good, turn those right toes now to face the long edge of the mat, hands to your head. Good, so you're finding a spacing between the legs that feels good. I would like you to roll your thigh bones in so that even your toes turn in and your heels go out. How much could you turn your toes in? Like, you like comically turn your toes in, almost like if they look at each other. What is the ability to turn in? Good, now sitting nice and tall, bend the knee. Exhale and forward fold. Hands down towards the toes. How much can you roll the thighs in? And then straighten the legs in that position. Good. See how much you can lengthen the spine down towards the floor. Maybe walk your hands through your legs. Those thigh bones rolling in. Good. Hands back towards your hips. Inhale halfway. Let's hold yourself out there. Watch your head. Exhale all the way up to the center. Good. Turn your toes out. Now the heels point in, and the heels go out as far as you can. You're going to bend the knees. And I want the knees to track with the toes. If they don't, turn the toes back. They have to agree. The knees and the toes have to face the same direction. Good. Take your hands off to the sides if you're holding like trays of delicious chocolate covered strawberries or whatever you like instead of here. Pull the low belly in a little and sit down a little deeper. And then pulse up a tiny bit. And then pulse down a little deeper. 10, 9, 8, keep pulling these back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down. Good. Can you come up onto your kidney and keep your hips low? And roll up, breathe. For 5. Sit lower. 4, heels look higher. 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the leg. We'll move you side to side. Good. Bring those feet back to like not super wide, but not together. Like a little wider than hip distance. Feet face forward, knees face forward, forward fold. Hands down towards the floor. And then walking both hands over towards the left leg. Lift your right leg up and out to the right side. Hold it up there. So you're trying to draw the toes towards your face so they move forward towards that long edge of the mat. And then up. 3, 2, and 1. Back and Good, both hands. Walk over towards the right leg. Now, if you turn your hips, you miss this, right? I want the hips to stay facing the long edge. Your chest to face the long edge. So we're not trying to turn the hips and then lift the leg out to the side, because then it's different than if I have to hold it forward towards my hips, okay? So, hands down, left leg lifts up. So, your chest faces the back wall, the wall behind it, so it's the side wall of the tree leg, not the exit wall. Yeah, your chest moving forward, fold, over that leg, faces the tree leg wall, not the exit door wall. Yeah, and those toes lift up and they pull toward your face. Oh, lift up. And forward, forward. I'm gonna bring it back down to the floor. Good. Inhale, out the lift. Exhale, to the okay, so when I take my forward fold, if I turn my chest and lift my leg up and out, I'm like holding it out to the side this way. And I want you to have to keep your chest facing your toes so it's like this way. You're trying to keep the hips straight, keep your chest straight, and use the front of your hip flexor and the external rotators at the same time, which is super hard. That's why it's and you feel like ah. It's strength meets flexibility together. This time when we go down, we're gonna grab a hold of the big toe. So that means that my leg can't just be anywhere. It's gonna have to stay in this like realm of my arm. That makes it very hard because we only have this distance to move away. Okay? Give it a whirl. Hands down on the floor. Both hands towards that left leg. Chest stays facing the leg. So don't rotate. Now take your right fingers around the right big toe. And you're going to lift your right leg up and out to the right side. Oh my God, it's so hard. Good. Breathe. Smile. Laugh. And one, bring it back down. And take both hands to the other side. So, the leg that you're standing on should also be screaming. It's just like, what? Right? That leg is screaming because it's holding you in those outer butt cheek muscles. It's a lot of strength, a lot of stabilizing in the hips. So now with both hands towards the right leg, the left fingers around the left big toe. And you lift that left leg up. Hold it up there. And breathe. And we're trying our best not to fall to the right side. Because that's like leaning into your joints. I want you to try to keep those hips even. And then back to center. Good. Move around a little bit in your hips. Make it feel nice. Good. Find that wide-legged position one more time. Coming to stand, hands interlaced behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Reach those knuckles to the back of the room. Chest is lifted. Breathe. Squeeze those palms together as best you can. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold down to the side of the leg. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. Squeeze. Keep pressing your pinkies into that imaginary wall. And as you press, push. 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 Yes, push. I know. Push. I was like, where's the floor? It should be here by now, right? It's so close. Keep breathing. Good, hands back to your back. Inhale, half of them. Exhale, all the way down. Turn those right toes back towards the front of the room. Good, bend the knee, cover the hand down, step back. Plank position. So a little lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Left leg, lifts up in the air. Good, step that left foot through between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior two on this side. As you find your stance, right, the stance on this side, pulling that left knee towards the left baby toe, bending deeply into that left knee, don't be afraid. If it feels like your knee gets way out over your toe, you can take a wider stance. Move your legs further apart. So step the left foot to the front of the room a little bit more, or slide the right leg back a little further. Yeah, use it up. That's it, right? Go for it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Now, imagine that your arms are playing tug of war. It should feel like the back arm is winning. Yes, that lines your shoulders right up over your hips. We find that feeling of the left heel pressing down and dragging back so we're strong in our hamstrings. So many people come to yoga and they're like, oh, my hamstrings are so tight, so tight. They're also so weak, so weak. Bring your left palm up towards the sky, big inhale. Exhale to back, reverse. Stretching the fingers to the back wall, but keep lifting those ribs up. Bending all the more into the left knee. On an inhale, come back to center. Exhale that left hand down to the floor, right arm up towards the sky. Side angle pull. You focus on the foundation. Bend deeper into the left knee if you can. Bend, bend, bend. And make that left knee go to the left. Yeah. Oh, that's how you turn on those butt cheek muscles that we were finding before. Can you just hold this position? Can you be strong here? On and inhale, rising back up. Little break, straighten the leg. Breathe in. Left hand to the left ear, reverse the warrior. Ribs reach up, 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 and back, and up, and back, and up, and back. You're lifting through that elbow, trying to open up all of that tissue under that armpit space to breathe better. Inhale back to center. Warrior two, and now straightening the front leg, shortening up slightly in that stick. Setting up your triangle pose. You can move your hips, right? If you can't, you need to change something. Good, reach the left hand forward, the hips back, stretch, 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 stretch. Good, taking that left hand down towards the floor, right arm up towards the sky. Keep rolling that left thigh. Get as strong as you can in your abdominal muscles. Holding. Reach that left arm to the front of the room because you're just so strong. Right arm up towards the sky. Holding yourself out here. Reach, 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 reach. Find the strength in your legs to rise all the way up. Turn those left toes towards the long head. Dandasana, moving from side to side. I want you to make sure that your knees are in agreement about where you're going. If you're like, oh, my knees, it's too much, right? Don't force the knees. So as you move from side to side, if I sit towards the foot at the back of the room, my right heel can turn up towards the sky.
And I'm gonna sit back as far as I can, keeping my heels down. If you can sit on the floor, you can sit on the floor. Take that knee, roll that thigh in so it touches the floor, and then bring it back out. And then you can use your hands. We're gonna go to the other side, and the heel stays down. And my toes can turn up, and I might sit down. And then I can roll that thigh in, top of the floor, come back up, whoosh down to rise. So I'm trying to learn how to use my hip muscles to get up and down off the floor with my legs in closed. So you're only going down as far as your knees agree with you. Sitting from side to side, Skandasana. You're moving your own rhythm. Keep your chest over your hips to make it harder. The higher up you stay, the more weight there is. So when the chest goes forward, it's less weight, and the higher up, more weight you have to do. You hold like a plate in your hand, right? Or the block over your head. Make it feel nice. This is a conversation between you and your hips and your knees. So if your mind starts to drift off to something else, bring it back to it. And then the next time that you come towards the left side, we're gonna stay there. And staying at that left side, we'll turn the toes towards the front of the room, left toe. Come up on the back, tippy toes. And then one for our forearms on the floor or on the block. That right knee can come down. Any variation that you like here. You're inside your left leg. Lowering that knee down if it's up. Pressing all the way up onto the hands, nice and high on the hands. Bring the left hand to the left knee, your right hand can go out to the right, maybe onto the flooring. It's like wide. Pressing the hips forward, trying not to rotate the hips, but keep the hips facing forward as you rotate your spine. Finding a bend into that back leg maybe, and reaching back with the left hand maybe, or the right foot. Good, now instead of sinking in the arm, press out of the arm as much as you can. Stay lifted, strong out of the body. And if your hand has the foot's gonna push back against the hand. Like your heel was like, oh, I wanna go to the butt. And then once the hand was like, oh, here, I'll help you. It's like, never mind, I don't wanna go to the butt anymore. Now I wanna go to the back wall. And you're gonna push against it. Good, now nice and slow release. We'll sit back towards that right leg, straighten the left leg out in front of you, toes towards the sky. You can sit back as much or as little as you like. When I sit all the way back, I kind of like lose the stretch. I'm like, no, I got very little. When I stay up over it and try to reach my sit bone up and back with a little bend in my knee, I often find much more for me in that place. I want you to find the spot that works best for you. Options, options, options. Good, rebend into the left leg. Run the palms down, set back, plank position. Lower down, try to round that up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Bring that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Option to stay low here. Onto the forearm, onto the block, or stay up high in the hands. The back knee can lower, or it can stay lifted. You have so many options in this place to find what you're looking for. Are there muscles in your back working that don't need to work to stabilize this position? Do you need that like wrinkle in your eyebrows to hold this? Can you let that one go? My kids call it the knee wrinkle. Ooh. Watch out, my mom's upset. Now, if our leg is up, we're all in the lower. Press up high on the hand. This could be funny, just coming up high. That's the most difficult. Good, right hand to the right knee, left hand can go out wide left. But I don't want you to hang on it. I want that arm to lift you up the same way a cobra pose lifts you up. You don't hang the arms in cobra. On side plank, you push. And then mindful that the hips aren't tipping or turning towards the street leg anymore. We're going to try to keep them forward as much as possible and instead rotate the spine. You bend that leg. You'll know right away if it was a good idea. And if you can, you want to reach back for the foot, that's an option. So the heel comes in, and then once the hand is like, oh, I'll help you, then it's like, never mind, I don't want it anymore. It pushes away. That arm stays as straight as you can, and that's what pushes the arm back, and that's what lifts you like a bow. Squeeze that left butt cheek a little bit more as you press forward. Good, and then in your own time, release. Hands come down. We sit back towards the left heel, right leg straightens out. Good, squaring off the hips. Pull the right hip back. Back. Yep. As it reaches back, right hip reaches back, left hip forward. You can bend in that left knee a little bit. Pull the toe back towards your face. Reach your sit bones up and back. Which is different than up and out to the side. Like that's a side bend. We use our side abs to do that. We're trying to reach the sit bone up and back behind us, finding that longest stretch. Make it deep. Good, rebending into that right leg, rounding the palm down. Step back in plank position. Good, pushing the ground away. And just pushing the hands into the mat, the shoulder blades away from the ground, the low belly pulls in. The tailbone tucks under a little like a shamed dog, just slightly ashamed. Now reaching your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Now if we push the ground away so much, and the shoulder blades move away from each other so much, we're trying to find a way that we would get the feet to go through the arms and our butt to sit down on the floor, which can sound like craziness from this position. So let's walk the feet in, walk them in, walk them in, walk them in, walk them Keep pushing the ground away. Hands stay pushing in the ground. You cross your ankles and like wiggle your feet through your arms while your hands stay on the ground. It looks so crazy, right? And then just come to sit down. It's like, oh my God, how have you been on that? Good. Let's roll this down flat onto your back. Soles of the feet down to the floor. Good. So with the soles of the feet down onto the floor, I'd like you to press your heels down and squeeze your butt to lift your hips up off the floor. Hips lift. Bridge pose. Now, if I over squeeze my butt and I don't squeeze my inner thighs at all, my knees will splay out wide, and that's no good. If I only focus on squeezing my knees together, I'll forget to squeeze my butt. Also, not so good. So I'm trying to remember to squeeze my butt and my inner thighs enough that my knees track with my toes. And as you squeeze in that butt and lift those hips out, you have to open up the front of the hips. You bring your hands behind your back and release your fingers. You have to pick your shoulders up, roll your shoulder blades a little further towards each other. And get your palms to touch. And then reach your knuckles for your heels. And then press your pinky fingers into the floor so you keep lifting up to that chest face. So if I keep squeezing in the front, I won't be able to squeeze enough in the back. I need that back to squeeze. Good, and then release the hands. Lower your upper back, middle back, and then lower back down. Now bring your feet together so your big toes touch. Knees touch. Good, press down with the heels, lift the hips up. Bridge pose with the legs together. Now, this is an if, right? If you can. Press your right heel down and lift your left leg up towards the sky. We're trying to keep the hips even. Now, keeping that leg right up towards the sky, the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Can you bring your hips almost to the floor? And then squeeze your butt and press the hips back up. 10. 9. 8. Pause. Put your hands in your hips. Hips are up. Are your hands even? Fix them. Oh, Corinne. I don't know. Figure it out. Move around. Good. Down low. Press up. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Up and hold it up. Let's hit even. Yes. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Roll the spine down, and then the foot comes down onto the floor. Ah. And round. 1. Round. Good. Feet together. Big toes touch. Toes touch. Knees touch. Hips to the sky. You push the weight into the left foot. Right leg up. Are your hips even? You're trying to even out this. This is very much a core exercise. When we go too big into the back bend, we like take all the forward back. Good, now, knowing that those hips are even, do that, right leg is up, you lower the hips almost to the floor. And then upward. 10. 9. 8. Pause. Touch your hips. Know if they're even. Down. Good. Lower down. 7. 6. One, hold it up. Oh, squeeze. Final exercise. Shoulder the soles up to the ceiling. Keep drawing the other like that. Bring that squeeze in on the left leg for 3, 2, and 1. Roll the spine down. Feet down. Good, soles of the feet down on the floor. Right ankle crosses the left knee. Good, draw that left leg in towards your chest as best you can. Good, returning both legs back down. Left over the right. Right leg draws it. This morning before I left for work, I checked the weather. And it said, powerful storm impacts the area. I'm adding the voice in my head. I'm like, didn't say it quite that way. But the choice of words, right? Powerful storm impacts the area. We're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches over 12 hours. A trace amount of ice during like the hour that it changes. No need to go get bread, eggs, up or down. You have to be able to like know when things are emergent and know when they are not. Bring your both feet back down onto the floor. Separate those feet about as wide as you can. Sometimes the brain will like trigger that everything is like a big deal. And that can even happen in the nervous system where you experience pain. Things that shouldn't be so painful. Some people lack that part of the brain. They don't feel pain at all. Also very dangerous. But the time that we spend on the mat allows us an opportunity to be like, is this emergent? Is that true? Let both knees fall to the right. Keep your feet in their train tracks. Is this worth the attention that's trying to be drawn to it? Back to center, both knees towards the left. So maybe there's stories you tell yourself about powerful storms impacting your life. Good. Is that true? Or are you expecting hallucinations or in an area that has snow plows and ice trucks or salt trucks and able to manage? Coming back to center. Bring your knees into your chest.
As we set up for Shavasana now, if there is a thing that you need to work out, there is something really important that needs your time, your attention, your thoughts. By all means, take it. This can be your quiet time for that. But if something is not emergent, if it's not something that needs your attention right now, and you find a place that you can allow the body to relax, to be present. So finding the Shavasana shape, that will feel best for you. Some people like the blocks under their shoulders. Some people like to lay flat on their back. Some people like the soles of the feet down. Want your arms over your head or alongside your body or crossed over your belly. Whatever's gonna feel really good. If you know that you don't have anything emergent, but it's just really hard to stay focused because it's hard to stay focused. Count how long it takes you to inhale. And try to double that count as you exhale. Beginning to breathe life back into your fingers and your toes. Increasing in your inhales and your exhales. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Making your way over onto your side body. And from the side body, pressing yourself all the way back up to that comfortable seated position. Keeping your eyes closed, bringing your hands to heart center. We'll close our practice today with 3 rolling ohms. So that means that you're gonna do an ohm together, but whenever your ohm stops, you take your next inhale and then start your next one, even if no one else has started. And then after the third one, you just rest. Exhaling together. Inhaling. Humbly with joy and gratitude. And I thank you all so very much for coming today and sharing the practice with me. Namaste. All right, guys. Questions, comments, concerns, needs, or wants? My name is Corinne. Please let me know. Those hands-on assist cards can come up to the desk here, the stereo. Thanks so much. Thank you, everybody at home. You guys have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Great class.
Aw, thanks a lot.